The general expression for a trinomial is ax squared plus bx plus c. Substitute each set of values into the expression and factorize. And so notice that we have ax squared plus bx plus c. Here, a is equal to 1, b is equal to 7, and c is equal to 10. And so we substitute, so we have a is equal to 1, b is equal to 7, and c is equal to 10. And so we have 1x squared plus 7x plus 10. And that's what we have. 1x squared plus 7x plus 10. 1 times x squared, well, 1 times x squared is simply x squared. And so we have x squared plus 7x plus 10. And our goal is to factorize this expression. And so we ask ourselves, okay, notice that this is 7 and this is 10. We ask ourselves, what two numbers that we can use to add, and when we add those two numbers, we get 7. But when we multiply those two numbers, we get 10. Again, what two numbers, when we add them, we get 7, and when we multiply them, we get 10. And so let's use 5 and 2. Indeed, 5 plus 2 is 7, and 5 times 2 is 10. And so we're going to use 5 and 2. And so we express 7x as 5x plus 2x. And so we have x squared plus 5x plus 2x plus 10. And so we factorize these two terms. Notice that x is in both of these terms. So x is a common factor of these two terms. So we can factor out an x. And when we factor out x, we are left with x plus 5. And we are left with x plus 5 because we know that x times x is x squared, and x times x is x squared, and x times 5 is 5x. Similarly, we factorize this side, and so we know that 2 can go into itself, and 2 can go into 10, so a common factor of these two is definitely 2. So we factor out 2, and we are left with x plus 5. And we know that we are left with x plus 5 because 2 times x is 2x, and 2 times 5 is 10. And so we have x plus 5, which is a factor of this term, and x plus 5, which is a factor of this term. So x plus 5 is a factor of both of these terms. And so it's a common factor of both of these terms. So we factor out x plus 5. And when we factor out x plus 5, we are left with x and plus 2. So we have x plus 2 here. And so our answer is x plus 5 multiplied by x plus 2. And that's our answer to this particular question.